project.com. Project title is a lightweight and dependable truss system for clustered wireless sensor networks. This project coming under the domain information forensics and security. Now going to domain explanation. This domain covers the science, technology and application relation to information forensics, information security, biometrics, surveillance and system applications that incorporate these features, and also to promote activities within the wireless sensor network with secure manner. Now going to briefly explain the project. In wireless sensor networks, lot of clustering algorithms are used. In our system, we have to use LDTS, that is lightweight dependable truss system. This clustering algorithm can effectively improve network scalability and throughput. Nodes are grouped into cluster, and within each cluster a node with a strong computing power elected as the cluster head. It has high-level backbone network. Cluster member can send data to cluster head. During inter-cluster communication, a truss system also aids in the selection of trusted routing gateway nodes or other trusted cluster head through which the center node will forward the data to the base station. LDTS system has lightweight trust evaluation and dependable trust evaluation. In lightweight trust evaluation have two methods. First one is cluster head to cluster member trust evaluation. Second one is cluster head to cluster head feedback evaluation. Dependable trust evaluation also have two methods. First one is a cluster head to cluster head trust evaluation, and second one is a base station to cluster head feedback evaluation. LDTS demand less memory and computational overhead. Now going to explain data flow diagram. In our project, first constructing network topology. A node is in the wireless sensor network model can be constructed as cluster head and cluster member. Each member of cluster can be constructed through network connection and can communicate with cluster head. Each cluster head can connected with backbone connections and can communicate with base station. After that, we have to do the LDTS. That is, in LDTS system depends on our selection of the source and destination. It will be fed into a intra-cluster or inter-cluster. In intra-cluster, it have two methods. First one is cluster member to cluster member trust and cluster head to cluster member trust evaluation. In CM to CM trust evaluation, find successful and unsuccessful interaction can be found and will be evaluated. In CH to CM feedback evaluation, feedback reported by cluster head and about a specific node. Thus, each member does not need to share trust information with its neighbor. In intercluster, evaluate CH to CH, that is cluster head to cluster head trust evaluation, and base station to cluster head feedback evaluation. CH to CH direct trust interaction. CH maintain the past records of the interaction of one other CH, and CM keep interaction records of their neighbor. BS to CH trust evaluation, each and every CH get the feedback from the base station. When the trust system satisfy all the conditions, finally transmit the data. Now going to project demo. Before going to run a program, we must install a NetBeans and WAM server. WAM server are a package of independently created programs installed on computers. WAM server is used to access the dataset. PHPMyAdmin, which provides a graphical user interface for the MySQL database manager. First, we have to start a WAM server. Now, WAM server is started. After that, we have to open the NetBeans. Here, this is our project. So, in our project, home.java is the first form of our project. So, we have to right click the project and click run file to run our project. Now we have to enter into our project. Have to click here. Now here we have to construct the network topology. In network topology, first we have to create a base station. This is a base station of our network topology. Then we have to find the cluster head. These are all the cluster head present in our project. Then we have to generate a cluster member, that is node. After generating the nodes, we have to connect this particular network. Now overall construction of the particular network is over. After that we have to do a backbone connection, that is we have to connect this cluster head by using backbone network. Now the networks are connected through a network. Then we have to click next form. Here we have to separate the network into clustered. So here the networks are clustered. After that we have to do a identity, that is we have to give a identity for each and every cluster head and each and every cluster member. So here we have to give a name for each and every node and have to give a cluster for each and every cluster node. After that we have to do a next. Here we have to select cluster head. Then we have to select a cluster member. Here we have to check the given cluster is intercluster or intracluster. By clicking when we have to select the same cluster head in our project, it is a intracluster. When we have to do a different cluster head means that is a intercluster. Now this is a same cluster head, so this is a intracluster. Then now we have to do a further process. So here we have to find a cluster head for a source and cluster head for destination and member source for source and destination member. Now we have to find a source head and destination head and also source member, destination member. Now we have to find a successful interaction of the particular transaction. Here already that particular source, that is a particular member C1 and particular source destination CM5, it have a transaction for 3 already done in 3 times. Then now we have to find, that is a completed successful interaction. After that we have to find if there are any unsuccessful interaction between this source and destination for the same header. So that is a 0. So there is no unsuccessful interaction between the cluster. Now we have to add the successful and unsuccessful interaction. Now first you have to evaluate cluster member to cluster member trust evaluation. So we have to calculate the particular evaluation. After that we have to do the cluster header to cluster member evaluation. So first we have to find if there is any unsuccessful interaction is there. If any unsuccessful interaction is there means we do not have any transaction in further. So here its unsuccessful transaction is 0. So we have to find this is a trusted route. After that here we have to move our next process. Now we have to find the amount of positive feedback that particular source and destination. So amount of feedback is 5 and we have to find is there any negative feedback between the source and destination. So there is no negative feedback between them. So I have to find the probability value for the particular clusters. After that we have to find a CM to CM feedback trust calculation. Then we have to find a global trust aggregation. So here we have to find first amount of successful interaction and amount of feedback factor. Then we have to find the weight for the trust calculation. And here also we have to do a successful interaction and feedback factor. Then calculate the weight for feedback trust calculation. So from that to weight we have to calculate CM to CM trust and CH to CH trust. From these weight 1, weight 2 and CM to CM trust and CH to CM trust, we have to find the global trust aggregation. So from this value we have to know that particular source header and particular source member and particular destination header and particular destination member have a trustable one. So now we have to transfer our file to the particular source to destination. So here this calculation are used for find whether the given source and destination is trustable or not. So here they given this a big value. So here we have to transfer our file to the particular node. So here now we have to transfer our file to the particular source to destination. Here the files are transferred through. Then we have to update the particular process. Why we have to update our process? Because next again the same source and destination have to transfer the file, means it will be checked to the database. Is there any past interaction is there? If that is in past interaction, means it is a trustable one. The source and destination have to identify the given is trustable. So we have to update each and every transaction for a testing moment. Now the particular status are updated. Next we have to do a different source and destination. So this is a cluster head ch2. This is our cluster member. So here we have to select a different cluster head and different destination cluster head also. So now we have to check the given is inter or intra. So this is a different cluster head, so it is a intercluster. So we have to do a same thing for a intercluster also. So here we have to find the cluster head and destination head and member source and cluster member destination and find the successful interaction between them. So they have a two successful interaction in past. So is there any unsuccessful interaction? Is there is a no unsuccessful interaction between the particular source and destination. Then we have to add the successful and unsuccessful interaction. Then we have to calculate CH to CH direct calculation. Now we have to do a BS to CH feedback test calculation. So first we have to find any unsuccessful interaction between the source and destination. So there is a no unsuccessful interaction. So check this is a testable route or not. So the given is testable route. Whether it is the unsuccessful interaction is coming or 1 or 2, it means it is a untrustable route. So here we have this is coming in 0. That's why this is a trustable route. So here we have to find positive feedback and amount of negative feedback and probability value for the particular tested value. Then we have to find the average probability value of the particular source and destination. Then we have to calculate base station to cluster head feedback test evaluation. What's the difference between inter and intra cluster? In intra cluster means just we have to get the feedback from cluster member to cluster member and also the cluster head only. In intercluster means we have to get the feedback from the base station and other cluster head. This is the difference between the intercluster and the intracluster. So now we have to calculate global trust aggregation. First you have to find the amount of successful interaction and feedback factor, then calculate weight and also amount of successful interaction, feedback, and calculate W2. That is, this is a direct trust calculation, this is a feedback trust calculation. Now we have to find the CH to CH trust and PS to CH trust. Now we have to calculate global trust aggregation value. So this is a global trust aggregation value. From this value, the particular source and destination have a trustable one or not. So it will become 0 means this is not a trustable one. So it have some value. So depending upon this value, we have to find the trustable range. Now we have to transfer our data. Now it will be transferred to the particular source CM to particular cluster head and move to the destination cluster head and reach the destination member. So the transformation is over. After we have to do a transformation, we must update our records. So the status are updated. Finally, we move for analysis part. That is here, first one is the overhead. So in LDTS system, we have divided into 4 clusters. The overhead ratio of the LDTS system is minimized from the existing GTMS system, and the storage of LDTS system also reduced. That is the memory space, memory wastage of compared to the existing system. Memory wastage is reduced from the GTMS to LTMS. Main conclusion of this project is LDTS demands the less memory and communication overhead compared to the existing system, that is current typical trust system for wireless sensor network, that will be achieved here. Thank you.